There we go. So we've just done quick introductions, so that's why we're here. And the problem that we're trying to solve and that we're kind of all here to talk about is plastic pollution. So every year, 8 million metric tons of plastic goes into our oceans, which is absolutely insane. And then it breaks down into these tiny microplastics that then get eaten by fish. They work into our waterways. And the problem is so prevalent that 95% of people have plastic in their bodies at any one time, which is just awful, absolutely awful. So there's clearly a need to change. Encouragingly, there is a big consumer demand for plastic-free products, and that's changing. But the beauty industry isn't really responding at the moment. Go into any high street store, as you can see on the screen here, and you're just surrounded by plastic. So that's why I set up Bambu Beauty. I'm very passionate about plastic pollution. I attempted to row across the Pacific in 2018 to raise awareness of plastic pollution, and it didn't go quite to plan. So I came back a little bit early, found myself in the middle of Devon saying, what can I do? What can I do to make a real difference? And so I set up Bambu Beauty. I set the website up in January and had the best sales. Which has been very exciting. I found some amazing brands to work with, finding all of the kind of the people behind the brands. I don't want to work with an email address, it's people that we're committed to. And in this journey, it's been absolutely eye-opening, the impact that beauty has on the planet. And it's really made me want to make my own products, which are completely transparent, and commit to that radical transparency, because I believe that stakeholders, customers deserve to know where the products have come from, how people have been impacted, and how the planet's been impacted. So that transparency is something that's definitely needed. So what made me want that? It's been horrendous looking at this. So this is across a lot of beauty skincare products. You've got tons of plastic, got 2.7 billion items of bathroom plastic go into British landfill every year. And then that ends up breaking down, it goes into our soil, plus the ones that end up in the ocean. It's huge, huge numbers. A lot of the plastic is recyclable, people don't recycle it, and a lot of it is avoidable as well. We've also got modern slavery is a huge issue. We know that mica is only able to be mined by children, which is something that a lot of beauty brands have been looking into, but no one's found a solution for. So any beauty product that has kind of a sparkle to it has got mica in it, and it's been mined by children. Which, again, outstanding that that's even a thing these days. And then we've got the unseen modern slavery, so coconut oil, argan oil, where local people are trapped in jobs that they're basically not paid for, whether it's through debt, through force, and without having some transparency, we can't see that that's happening. People can quite easily turn a blind eye. On top of that, we've got unsustainable farming, so rainforests being pulled down so that we can have industrial farming, natural products, great, but where does that come from? Does it mean that a rainforest has been pulled down so that we can have that coconut oil, for example? The carbon footprint is also huge. We've got products that fly across the world, go from the US to China, back down to Malaysia, for example, and then to the UK. That's processing in the manufacture and the delivery of the product. Oh, sorry, there we go. And then greenwashing is a massive one. There are so many products that say, oh, natural ingredients, but a product can have a natural ingredient and also still be filled with chemicals. So really knowing what claims are being made and what they mean is important, and a lot of marketing people can get around these. So you are the solution. So when it comes to hygiene and beauty products, plastic packaging is often really hard to avoid. And with most of plastic still ending up in landfill or in the natural environment, we need urgent action from individuals, from businesses, from governments to curb the amount of plastic that we produce. So what can you do? Demand plastic free. This is a really, really simple one. And I would encourage everyone to use their power to start having conversations, to say, talk to brands and say, why is this not in plastic? Why is this in plastic? Why is it not in cardboard, for example, or a recyclable material other than plastic? Research and educate yourself. So if you see a claim, have a look into what it is, what does it mean? And just kind of take the time, whether it's 5 minutes a week, whatever it might be, whatever you can spare, and just look into what these are really saying and what the impact really is. Share your hints and tips on social media. This is a great one. It's super, super simple. And in my experience, I don't tend to make a change unless I really, really feel passionately about it, or I've seen that all my friends are doing it. So if you fall into the latter camp, it's much easier to do if you can see lots of people doing it, and just putting it out there. I made this one change, I did this, really encourages people. Choosing fair trade, not just in the bathroom. So some specific products, cocoa butter is one of them, can be fair trade. You can, coffee, chocolate, I'm sure you've heard of those as well. It makes a huge impact on the people who are farming those products, those ingredients. So where you can, definitely choose fair trade and hold brands to account. Never before have we been able to have so much interaction, so much public interaction with these big brands. So whether it's on social media, whether you get in touch privately, just question and demand. The brands are unlikely to change until they see that the market is asking them to. And then talk with friends and family about planet-friendly bathrooms, about sustainability generally, and just have those conversations and inspire people to think about their impact and what they're doing. So then tips and easy switches. So this is the fun part. So I've got a few products here with me at the moment to talk you through the things that I use. You might find that they work for you, you might find that different ones work for you, but this is the ones that I do. The shampoo and conditioner, I've got these things called beauty cubes. They're little cubes that you just crush up with a bit of water and make them into a paste. You only need 1 cube for washing your hair, so it saves absolutely tons of plastic. This will do, 27 washes, which is really good. And they come shampoo, conditioner, shampoo and body wash, all sorts. Toothbrushes, got a little toothbrush holder, Bambu toothbrush, super simple. Yeah, I don't know what more to say really. It's a really easy switch. After about 2 days, you don't really notice that the switch has even been made. I wouldn't consider going back to a plastic one. I love my Bambu toothbrush and I don't see a reason why I'd need to waste the plastic. Deodorants, they've got a number of different deodorants. This one is a little tube. I like the kind of push-up version. You can also get creams, and I've not seen any liquid ones yet, but these are quite good alternatives. Razors, so I made the switch for the plastic-free razor about 2 years ago. This is the one that I bought and it's still going very strong. It takes seconds to change over the blade and you don't need many blades. So I don't know how many pieces of plastic that's saved, but it's quite a lot. Looking for the ingredients. So if you can try and look for natural products, it means that those chemicals within the ingredients aren't then being washed into the sea, into the oceans, and are just a little bit lighter on the planet. And then switching from body wash to soap. This was a switch that I was a bit more reluctant to make, but it's been fine. Like, I now use soap all of the time. I have done for about 1.5 years. It's super simple. It works with a little loofah as well. Easy. And then clay masks. I've seen loads and loads and loads of those cloth masks where you kind of place them over your face and you've got the eyes cut out on social media, and they look good, but the cloth then gets thrown away. They tend to be wet, so that they're in some sort of plastic packaging when they come, and it's just waste and waste. But then we've got some clay masks like this that come in a plastic-free tin. Oh, I'm going to get it everywhere now. So this one's a powder. You can get wet ones as well. And this one you just mix with a bit of water to make a paste. And so you get all the benefits of a standard face mask, but without the plastic. And these ones happen to be natural as well. Cleanser, sanitary products. I thought you would appreciate me not showing you my sanitary products, but I found the reusable sanitary towels to be really, really good. Organic cotton tampons as well. They're not completely waste-free, but at least it's lighter on the environment. I did try the cup thingies, but I didn't get on with those. So those are what worked for me. And then cleanser. I've made little pots of cleanser. I wish I got a fresh one, sorry. Little pots of cleanser. I made these about 1.5 years ago. One batch has lasted a long, long time. Put them into little pots. And it's just coconut oil, shea butter, and a bit of kind of fragrance. This one's lavender, I think. Really simple. You can buy the ingredients on Amazon, melt them down so that they become one, put them into little pots and just apply it to your face at night, wash it straight off. It takes all your makeup off, and it's a nice cleanser and super moisturizing as well. The recipe for that I've sent to Amy, so hopefully she'll pass that on to you. But if you have any questions, just get in touch. And then reusable cotton rounds. I almost forgot these because I made these just for me. It's not something that I sell or anything, but my boyfriend was like, you have to include this because you use them all the time and they're always in the wash. So these are just made out of cotton. They've got a kind of a terry towel in the middle and then a soft cotton either side, sewn in a circle. Really easy, took 2 minutes to make. And yeah, I use them every day. They're fantastic. Reducing a shower time. So water is a really kind of rare resource at the moment. It doesn't feel like that when you live in the UK, but we're running out of water quite rapidly. And so every minute that you can save in the shower really does make a difference. And then, can't reach, we've got things like body butters and moisturizers. So they look and feel just like a standard one would. There we go. Super simple, yeah, they're lovely. And it's an easy switch that doesn't really have an impact other than being lighter on the planet. And then ones that I didn't include on here, and I was looking through my drawers and it's like, oh yeah, I use that every day. So I got a Shine hair food. I used to use spray thingies to protect my hair when I'm straightening it, that sort of thing. But this oil is fab. You can also have argan oil, that sort of thing, but they can come plastic free. And then toner as well. I've got an organic rose toner, which is quite nice. So yeah, those are my top tips really. Just try and find plastic-free alternatives to everything that you have in the bathroom. It's amazing how many things we use that are plastic that don't need to be. But I realised that most of those mean buying something, and I thought there's probably some free things that you want to do as well. And so signing petitions is a really good one. The more that you can get your voice heard, the more the people will listen. And educating yourself. Don't simply believe the marketing. Don't believe my marketing. Don't believe anyone's marketing. Find out for yourself and say, what does this mean? Why are you saying that? Everyone who makes a marketing claim has to be able to prove it. And so why are you saying that? And what are the alternatives? And what's the impact of those alternatives? Sharing your journey, inspiring others to try a different approach is a really nice way, and it brings a really personal aspect to living more sustainably, and it's much easier to try something when you've seen someone else do it and you can follow in their footsteps. Things don't always work. That's the nature of trying new things, and sharing your failures as well, I think, is really important. Supporting plastic-free campaigns, so Sustainable Merton's plastic-free Merton campaign, a little plug there. It sounds like you are all supporting already, but anything that you can do, so going into the local coffee shops and saying, how are you getting rid of your plastic, or just having conversations, sharing things online, liking, promoting, commenting on the YouTube videos, whatever it is, every little bit really does help. And then take a human approach and expect the same from the brands you buy. When people are approaching from kind of that human perspective and wanting to connect, is much more likely to have kind of a beneficial impact, and you'll be working with people who care about the people that they impact. As soon as things become faceless, then it's much easier to get away with things that you wouldn't want to be happening. And then the last thing, if you take anything away from this, bamboo is not always a sustainable option, which might sound odd coming from me. But this really goes back to that kind of think about what you're being marketed. So bamboo is kind of given this green kind of ultra good label, but in reality, when it comes to bamboo fibers, the amount of processing and the water needed and the chemicals to break bamboo down into a fiber that can then be used for kind of making cloths, things like that, t-shirts, towels, is way worse than cotton. So the impact of bamboo fabrics compared to cotton fabrics, generally, depending on where they come from, is much greater. So just kind of be aware, research, and yeah, educate. So thank you for your time. I appreciate I might have rattled through that, but does anyone have any questions?